Hey everyone, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. So I just want to give you a quick update. Walmart released some basically surprising forward guidance, which basically means projections. This is well ahead of their earnings. And they're basically saying, hey everyone, we're kind of worried we're not going to be making any money. And this basically spooked everyone. I think it went down about 10% after hours. We'll see what it ends up opening tomorrow if people are like, oh my God, we're just going to be dumping Walmart shares. Why does this matter? So Walmart is usually a stalwart company in these kind of times because basically the idea is that during a recession, people don't have any money. And when you don't have any money, you go to the cheapest places possible, Walmart, Dollar General, Target. Usually these stores are pretty good. However, when Walmart's coming out and saying, hey, everyone, we're not making any money, that is a problem. There's a couple things going on. So one is Walmart's like, hey, people aren't buying electronics anymore. They're not buying TVs. They're not buying, refrigerators, all this stuff. One of the reasons is, and we talked about this yesterday actually regarding, say, Whirlpool, is because people bought all this stuff during the pandemic. So we're all home watching Netflix on our brand new flat screen, 55-inch TV that we got at Walmart essentially. And people just aren't buying any of those. Also, too, what happened is that during the time when the supply chains were having troubles, Walmart and Target also as well were just ordering tons of stuff ahead of time because what they got to do, they got to kind of pre-project what they think demand's going to be, and that's a tough business. And they projected wrong. So they got too much inventory, they got no demand. And so kind of what they have to do these days, they got to cut prices on a bunch of stuff. So basically you got all this inventory and you just want to get it off the shelves, and now you're, I won't say necessarily taking a loss, but you're not getting much profit as what you would have liked, or just there's still no buyers because people don't have any money. And I'm sure you guys get where this is going. You remember, I really want to emphasize with you guys, in the USA, we are a consumer economy. 70% of our economy are consumers. So if people aren't shopping and the money's not flowing, companies are going to have a tough time making money. And moreover, this is the other thing that's really interesting is Walmart was saying a lot of people were choosing to go with basically store brands, generic brands, and this kind of stuff over more of your name brands. So like, for example, you guys know this, you go to the cereal aisle and you can get, your favorite cereal, be it Lucky Charms, be it Kix or whatever, or you can get like generic, which would be Lucky O's or, or, brand, what do I want to call it? Like just corn, did this call it corn flakes or corn shakes or whatever they call it? The name, the main one would be like, Special K, and then like the generic one would just be like wheat shakes or whatever they're called. But people are going for the cheaper versions. Basically cheaper brands, the store brands or the non-brands or generic brands tend to be like 30% less than the actual name brands. Full disclosure, I like name brands. They taste a little bit better, but when times are tough, you're like, you know what? Taste isn't worth it. I'm going cheap. And I think, this thing by Walmart is a big deal. This also affects, which we'll report, I think it's Wednesday, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like Wednesday or Thursday where Apple comes out and reports. And they're consumer electronics, and Walmart's already saying people aren't buying that stuff. Now, to be fair, Walmart is a different customer maybe than Apple, but this is up to debate, right? Because I think at this stage of the game, Apple can sell products to almost every class of person or every social class, I could say, because they have different tiers of pricing of phones. However, here's a however, for people out there who are like, I always talk about Tesla bulls, would you make the case that say only the people who have less money are scrimping and trying to save at Walmart, right, by buying the cheaper brands? However, would you make the case that people in the upper incomes are having no problem with money and they're just going to be still buying massive amounts of Tesla? Do you see what I'm saying here? Because the idea is that if consumers aren't shopping at the lower ends, do you still believe consumers are going to be shopping at the higher ends? And this is the sort of the judgment you have to make. So me personally, I tend to be bearish. I think people are going to be losing jobs, which I've already transitioned over into talking about resumes, talking about job finding, and trying to, networking, these kind of things. And if you want to check out those videos, it's all in the productivity playlist. And I'll keep making it every day, but I just want to remind you that's sort of why we're doing this, because we've been projecting these kind of things on this channel. So it doesn't come as a surprise. I can just tell you, I lived through .com, I lived through 08, 09. If it gets bad, in terms of bad, you're going to see unemployment go up, which I think we're going to see a need anyway to fight inflation. You're going to see crime rates go up. You're going to see a general sort of malaise in the market and malaise among people, especially for new people who are graduating. It's going to be tough out there. And so I keep saying over and over again, you can't necessarily depend on this market. You got to depend on yourself. And how do you do that? Invest in yourself. Get trained in jobs where there are going to be needs. Start networking now and considering, okay, where are the opportunities going to be in the future? which people can I reach out to and say, hey, what's going on with your company? How are things looking? That kind of stuff. Like if you want to do well in this world, you plan ahead. It's the same way in the market. If you want to do well in the market, you try to start to figure out which companies are going to be good, et cetera. And from my point of view, and Walmart's already giving guidance that, man, I don't think we're making money. It's a bit worrisome, and I'm, we're going to find out tomorrow. We're going to find out if Google and Microsoft are making money. We're going to find out if Chipotle is making money. We're going to find out McDonald's is making money. Something like a McDonald's or say Mondelez, Procter & Gamble, these are all stalwart companies. But if it turns out that because their international exposure is high, and any company with international exposure may face pressure because why? The dollar is really strong, and that means foreign currencies are weak. So if I do business in a foreign currency, right? If I'm selling things to, say people who are buying my stuff on the euro, but the euro is going down in value, that means I'm not making as much money because they're paying me with currency that's worth less, right? You want to make money with people who are paying you in dollars, essentially these days. And I don't mean to be a bear all the time. I just want to tell you the truth and sort of what I think is going on. And one of the biggest challenges, and I'm just keeping it real with you guys, for most financial, planners or financial people in the financial space, be it YouTube, et cetera, they want to paint a rosy picture all the time. Why? Because they want you to give them money so that they can manage it, right? But, obviously their challenge is like, oh no, don't worry. Keep giving me money, because things are going to go up. But I mean, from my point of view, and Walmart's given bad estimates, it's hard to stay, bullish on the market. I will say it's very true, right? Buy low, sell high. So when things get low, it's time to get in. That's perfectly true. But I just feel like there's going to be more downside. That's my feeling, but we're going to find out with earnings. And, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this thing. Are you concerned about Walmart? Do you think Walmart is important? And also to be following the strength of the dollar, because at this stage, like I said, any company that has a lot of international exposure, if they're doing sales abroad, it hurts them when the sales abroad, when their currencies are failing. So that's what's going on in the market. Sorry, I don't usually do this sort of later night update, but I thought this Walmart news was big enough to talk about. So hopefully this is helpful for you, and love to hear your thoughts on this one as well. And appreciate your time, and I'll catch you in the next video.